Hello to everyone. I hope everyone has had a marvelous um, last day today or last few weeks. Hope everyone enjoyed their Easter Sunday and all. So we are going to get right to it. I have with me today Nidra Lynn from Paradise, AME Zion. Hi, Nidra.
Hi.
And we are going to cover the ProPresenter setup, similar to what I did last month as far as the lower third setup and what the audience sees and the difference between the audience view as well as the live stream view. So Nidra was kind enough to join me today so that I could talk her through it, because her setup, unlike last month where I was dealing with Presenter, her setup is actually with ProPresenter. Funny that they're so close in name, but they are two completely different softwares. ProPresenter, I believe, is a $400 one-time fee that you can pay for it, but it does quite the same things that Presenter does. It's just set up slightly different. So we're going to go over that, and it should go by fairly quickly because a lot of it is similar to what we did last month in Presenter. So it should not be that much of a difference. It's just a few different places that you click on and a few different changes. And again, what we do is we have the setup where we set up everything in ProPresenter and we send that to OBS, and OBS then sends your stream to either your Facebook page or your YouTube page or whatever you prefer at that particular time. So that's where we're going to go with that. And like I said, it should go by fairly quick because it is similar to what we did in Presenter. And then time presenting, we're going to cover how to create maybe some slides in Canva, as well as how to do some color corrections, because a lot of people don't know that the view or the camera look that you get in OBS, you don't have to just use the camera shot that you have. You can actually apply some filters on there similar to Instagram filters, where you can actually make your color look a lot better in OBS. So time permitting, we'll try and cover a little bit of that also. So, Nidra, you with me? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So, we are going to go to this particular shot. As you can see, you see the nice background that we have there, and then, like, say if I put a scripture up, you've got the nice um, background with the scripture at the lower thirds. So does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. All right, we should be all set here.
Okay.
All right, so in OBS, let me go to OBS here, and I'm going to bring that on the screen. And let's see if I can change this. Now, bear with me here. I'm trying to get this to. All right, let's try this again. All right, here we go. All right, so you see my OBS?
I do.
All right, so on OBS, and what I've done is I've set up a scene in OBS, and I just named it ProPresenter View. And then as the source, I went in and added a source. So you can click, plus here, and you've got all your options to add your source. And the source we added was a Siphon client.
Okay.
And that is what this one is the ProPresenter Siphon client. And then when you save it as a Siphon client, now everything that you're doing in ProPresenter is being sent to OBS.
Okay.
Hopefully I got that centered correctly. So everything that's being done in ProPresenter is being sent to OBS, so that when we're sending it to OBS is sending it out to your live stream audience. And you're familiar with this because you all do it every Sunday.
Uh-huh.
All right, so let's go and do that. And then like this. And let's wait for the watermark to come off. So OBS is going to receive your camera input as well as the lower thirds that you put on top of it. Now, is that the same way that you all are doing it?
It is. I choose to take the video off so it won't have a glare with the words, so the audience on Facebook can see the words more clear. So I just take the video off our pastor and just put a blank black screen on it so the words can
Okay.
come through.
So you use a plain background, um, like something like that
Correct.
with the
Or it just
scripture.
yeah, it just be black, either or.
Okay. All right. So are you familiar with how to get the different backgrounds into ProPresenter?
I am.
Okay. All right. So for those that are watching, um, in the ProPresenter software, you can add your backgrounds just by dragging and drop them. So the main source that I tell most people to get their backgrounds from is Church Motion Graphics. And under Church Motion Graphics, let's see if I have that set up on here. Is it there? Okay, that's my screen share. Why does this keep muting our microphones? And for those viewers that are watching the live, if there's a comment or whatever, let me know if these microphones are being muted, because it looks like when I'm changing scenes, it's actually muting the microphone. So, but we're going to keep pushing forward. All right. So let's go back to ProPresenter. So I'm going to take that out. Go back to ProPresenter. All right, so creating a background is very simple, and again, Nidra, you've probably done this before, but I'm going to go with something like this, and then if I just want to add the text on top of it, I can all right, help me out, Nidra,
Double click on the
because you're the
slide.
expert on this.
Click on one of the slides.
Okay, I want to actually create a new slide.
Okay. Go to edit at the top.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. There we go.
Plus sign.
And then I can add in a background. Like, not the solid color. This is just going to be the text with the transparent. So if I want to edit this one, plus sign, add the text. I'm really pushing my computer to the limit here. Let's go to a font that I'm familiar with. All right, so let's just say, and we're going to add that text. And don't need to add in a shape. Is it adding it in, or is it putting it in a new box?
Did you click on the right plus sign? No, not that one. The one up there by the King James Version to the left. The little small one. The plus sign. Go up a little bit to your right. That one. That's the add a slide.
Okay. That's what it was. So if I just want to create a new slide, there we go. And that's where I add my text. And let's say this is just a welcome slide. And let's change the size to make it a lot bigger. All right, and then we've got our text color, and my background is where I want to change that. Not there. Make that a little fancier. That looks a little better. Okay, and then my background. Where? Not there. Now, is this different on yours just because you have the paid version? Nidra. Oh. I lost you somehow. Alright. We are going to save this one and hit show. Alright. Where was it? Why is it not taking you out of the green room? Can you hear me, Nidra? Okay. But for some reason, it's got you in the green room. All right. Now I should be able to hear you.
Okay, I can hear you fine.
All right.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's always a work in progress. Always a work in progress. All right. So I was in the process of building my slide. I've got my welcome. And I wanted to make sure my background was transparent, which I believe it is. So once I do that, what I was asking you before you dropped out, I was asking because mine is saying open registration to actually pay for the ProPresenters. Is yours different because of the fact that you have a paid version?
As in the screen on the different text on there,
Yeah,
or
and what you're seeing right now, because like mine, I'm looking for where it's saving it, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't that it was limiting me to so many slides.
no, is the exact same.
Okay, so if yours is the same and we're there, then I should be able to hit show. Okay, so that's coming up, and then if I go to that, that slide is there. thing is constantly muting us for some reason. All right. Well, this is going to be a live video that's going to take a lot of editing. So for those of you that are online, just bear with me and I'll re-edit this so that it actually flows a little bit better and makes a little bit more sense. Thank you, Angela, for coming in. Yeah, I think it just keeps going and muting. I'm going to click on something to see if it's because when I change scenes here. Let's try that. So when I go here, and you all should still be able to hear me. If I go to my scene, it's there, and when I okay, I found the source of the problem. So every time I go to the screen share, it's muting both of the microphones. So I apologize for that. Like I said, it's a work in progress. I want to get the information out there, and hopefully you all can glean a little bit from what I'm setting up. But I will post a link in the end to the video that is more condensed and makes a little bit more sense, and then you can follow the link on that. All right, so the last thing that I want to talk about is the color correction in the cameras in OBS. So I am going to go here, and on this one I am going to let's do this first. Let's go back to ProPresenter. I'm going to take that off and that off so that it's just my video, and that's what I'm sending to OBS. And now I am going to go to OBS and let's get this. All right, so you got OBS on the screen, and I can go to a camera shot. Yeah, I can go to a camera shot, and that way we won't have that ProPresenter watermark keep popping up on us. All right, so for those of you that are using OBS, what we've been discussing thus so far is that you either have Presenter or ProPresenter, and you're creating a scene that you're sending everything from one of those presentation softwares to a scene in OBS. That is considered your camera shot. Now, in OBS, if your camera shot, if the colors are not clear, or if they seem like they're too bright or that type of thing, there is something called color correction in OBS that comes with OBS, and it's called a LUT. So what that means is if you go to your source, whatever your camera shot is in OBS, and you click on that camera shot and right click and go to filters. In the filters, you have for your camera shots, you have effects that you can add. Now you can add, for sound and all of that too, but right now we're talking about color correction. So under the color corrections, under the effects, you would hit the plus sign and you would click on apply a LUT. And when you click on that apply a LUT, it's going to come up and you give it a name. Now you can call it whatever you want. Label it color correction or whatever, or you can just leave it as a default name. In this particular case, I just left it as a default name. And then when you do that, it will come up with a path and a slider control to determine how much of this effect that you want to add. Now in this particular case, I have gone online and I've downloaded some color corrections for free. But OBS by default does come with about 5 or 6. How many did we see earlier? Nidra, I
I
think it
think it
was.
was like five,
Yeah, I think it was
five or
like
six.
five of them. So in OBS, there are some free options there for color correction. So when you apply that LUT and you click on Browse, by default, it's going to go to a path that is automatically directed to the free LUTs that come with OBS. And the one that I would recommend is the blue and teal LUT, because that adds a little bit of bluish tint to your LUT, and it adds a little bit of teal coloration to your LUT. So if your camera shot looks like it's either too bright or a little washed out, or you know just doesn't have that nice comfortable feel to it, pick that blue or blue and teal option as the default, and it'll come up with the path, and you will immediately see the difference in your in the LUT that you choose. And when you see that, then you can adjust, as I always use the term, season to taste, the amount of correction that you want to use. So like right now, I'm using one that I downloaded, and if I bring this up, you'll see how the picture that I'm sending out goes a little bit toward the yellowish. And then if I bring it down, it kind of gets a little bit more pale looking. And the way I had this one, was pretty much, you know, making the color look just right for this particular camera shot. But if I go to browse, and let's say this one was Harmon. I'm just going to pick one at random here. Let's say this one right here. And open. And I pick one that was pretty much the same. All right, I think there's one in there that I know. What was that black and white one? Was it this one? Yeah. This one right here actually makes my camera shot black and white. So if that's what I wanted to send to my Facebook viewers, and of course that's not, but that's what a LUT does. It actually takes the colors that your camera is showing, and it alters it so that you can season it a little bit and make it a different shot. Sometimes it'll help your shot, and it's going to affect all the cameras that actually go through that OBS, because it's on the camera shot of your scene in OBS. So everything that you send to it is going to be affected by that color correction. That being said, if I set this to black and white and I send a welcome or something like that from ProPresenter or Presenter, then that is also going to be in black and white. So that being the case, you might want to create a different scene in OBS just for your what was it? Oh, I know that's a good one. So get my correction back to where I had it. Something like that right there. Okay. So you might want to have one scene for your ProPresenter, so that that camera doesn't have any color correction on it, and then another scene for just your plain camera shot, and that one has the color correction on it. So that's pretty much it. That is all I have for this particular session. Um, and again, Nidra, thank you so much for being a willing volunteer for this particular session. I'm going to put you in the shot. So thank you so much for being a willing volunteer. And I think your image has froze again on me. Did you freeze up? Yes, she did. So uh, again, thank you for those that may have watched. Forgive me that I did not catch that the microphone kept muting when I was doing certain parts of the presentation, but I am going to edit this and clean it up and make it all nice and neat and pretty, and make sure that the video that is posted on my YouTube channel looks a lot better, so that everything that we covered is going to be in there. All right, Nita. I don't know why you kept dropping on us, but I was trying to let the nice people know that you were a willing volunteer and you helped me out a lot. Your patience and everything. I really appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. No
All
problem.
right.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. And like I said, that's pretty much it. That's all I had to cover. I will clean this up and make it look a lot better. And that's all I got. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you have a wonderful evening. And I will talk to you later.
All righty.
All
Talk to you
right.
later.
All right. Bye bye.